Hello, hello, this is SEEMOWNAY. Today I am going to show you my June planner setup and flip through. I moved from a traveler's notebook hybrid ring system back to my Filofax pocket Malden, just because I really love being able to set up my next month in a different planner and then just moving everything that I'm still using over to that new one. So I'm back in this Filofax Malden and I really love it. Let's just move in and show you what I have here. So in the pockets here, I usually don't decorate them. I have my money and there is change right here. I have a card with all the washi samples that came in the Cocoa Daisy kits in June. And then I have cards where I have to call the orthodontist to make an appointment for my youngest son. I still have this charm thing looped into my rings, and I attached this was a paper clip. And I attached this to a ring and made it into a charm. And then I still have this little one on here that came, I think, in the April or even March Cocoa Daisy Planner Kit. This is a Vellum, still the same one that I had in here all the time. This is a free printable from Love Cynthia. I put my phone number on here and it is the start of my planner. Then I have this. Again, it's still the same one that I had in my planner with an acetate with sticky notes. And once they are done, I'm just going to add other ones from newer kits onto this sheet. This is a pattern paper from the Cocoa Daisy June kit, and I cut down a card and stuck it on top of this. And on the back, I just added this Simon die cut. This is the bookmark from Filofax, and I added washi tape to hold it as a washi tape holder. This is from April and I still have it on there. And once it's done, I'm just probably going to use other washi tape and put it on here. This is my June tracker. I told you last time that I wasn't sure if I'm going to continue using this. And as you can see, I fell off the bandwagon right in the second week of June, and so I decided I'm not going to use one for July because I'm not going here. That's something that I'm noticing all the time, is that I have daily planner sheets and that's where I'm looking at, and I'm not looking anywhere else. So if I want to have information and if I want to track something, I need it on that daily planner sheet. So that's the tracker that I'm not going to transfer over to July. Here is my exercises for my physical therapy. And then for June, I think I showed this, maybe I haven't. I printed out this free printable from PeanutsPlannerCo. It is a monthly calendar and it actually is continuing on. So I have July on the back side here, and I just clipped the front that I didn't use to the dashboard, and so it opens up right away to June. And when I'm going to set up my July planner, or I actually have already set it up partially, I'm just going to use this sheet and move it over, and I'm going to put this into my archive. So I moved to this monthly view because it is a Monday start and it is free. So I didn't have to purchase a printable for July, and I will go into this in just a teeny tiny bit when I'm done flipping through this. I add appointments, things that are not regularly scheduled things like practice that reoccurs every week on the same day at the same time. I'm not putting it here. This is what everything else that is off our everyday life. I decorated it with washi stickers from Cocoa Daisy. Then I added another, this is a dashboard that I cut down. I added a die cut here so that I could easily find it. And this is where my weekly section goes. In my last video, I had this in front of the every week. I separated it out for June, so I have weekly overviews in the front, and then I'm going into the dailies. I did that mainly because, again, I didn't want to purchase a printable for July, and so I tried this out for June because I just couldn't wait. Again, I printed this, and since usually my weeks start on a Monday and I need another empty sheet, I just glued this to the dashboard so I would have a start on the left side. I added these stickers from the Cocoa Daisy Planner add-on kit. I added the prompt for the Cocoa Daisy Planner Challenge, and then I added all the videos and blog posts that were due onto this weekly view. And then I had one blank page that corresponded to this week where I used as a catch-all, or when I knew I had to do something that week, I added it there right away. So when I came to planning out my week in a daily matter, I was able to go here and look what my tasks for that week were. So yeah, so when I'm in this week, or right now, I already took this week out, all the things that are, let's say we are in this week and I think of that I want to take down lemons and make juice from them next week, then I'll just add it here. And when I go into my finer planning, then I can move it on to the daily page. I hope that makes sense. This is my page mark that I'm using for the weekly spreads. I have been doing this since the last 2 months. This is a free printable from Banana Doodle Shop, and then I just added a hard clip and let it stick out a bit, and so I'm easily finding the week. I added another divider here. I didn't have it stick out because I just don't really like tabs and stuff like that. That's the reason why I made my tabs myself, but let's just continue here. This is a die cut from Cocoa Daisy, a sticker. This is a vellum that came in the Cocoa Daisy kit. I'm not sure in which one. I think it was the classified, but I'm not sure. I just cut it down and added in here. These are my goals for June, and I was actually still didn't really do all of the things, but it was much better to break it down into actionable items, and I'm going to continue trying to do that for a little while until I decide if I'm going to have goals other than the things that I'm like doing everyday life goals, getting the kids to school and doing laundry weekly and cleaning and all that stuff. So still not decided if I'm going to leave this or not. I'm giving it another try and trying to break it down into more actionable items, and if I still fail, then I might not set goals for months, but that kind of feels like a failure to me. This is how I made my tabs in June. I used die cuts that I had stick out just a teeny tiny sliver, not as much as tabs would, because I really don't like them. I said that before, and I really like the way this still helps me find the page, but it's not as overwhelming. Like here, this is my monthly view. This is where my weekly starts. This is not a tab, this is a paper clip. This is where I'm at right now with my weeks, and then this is where my daily planning starts. So I talked about the goals. I use this as a timed, I use one cut down Cocoa Daisy mini daisy dory, and I cut it down and I interchange it with printables that have an hourly breakdown on the side, so that I see how much time I have, and I add my plans in here. I add in appointments and all in here. Then I add my to-dos here, and then sometimes I write out what I'm going to do in a very orderly fashion, and sometimes I don't. Just going to flip through here, and I'm using stickers from various different shops. This one is Pumpkin Paper Co. And what I really love is using hand lettering and different fonts to make it interesting. This was canceled. I usually use these half boxes from the Cocoa Daisy kit to indicate games and stuff like that. This is when my whole morning was filled with 5th grade promotion. I didn't do much that day, so sometimes they're quite blank and sometimes they're getting used a lot. This was the last day of school and I didn't really do anything that day. Again, Saturday was a long day with one event, so I added one of those filler stickers. I added this sticker over here to overlap. This is Saturday, and Saturday and Sundays I didn't use another page for my to-do list because I had found in the previous months that I didn't need it. And since this is an AnniePlansPrintable that I had purchased before I decided I wasn't going to use them in July, and that they weren't quite the right fit for my needs, the Sunday page had the weekly overview on the backside, which I didn't need. So I just used this Cocoa Daisy paper here as Sunday, and so I was able to have Monday from the printables again. So I just left out that particular AnniePlansPrintable page. Yeah, so I'm using all the things, my son tells me that I need to get tested for OCD. I need structure, I need things to line up, and this one is a good sheet for me. I can get things done. Some days this one is a good day for me as well because it lines up. And sometimes when things like that happen, I have a harder time using and getting things done. It sounds really strange and to some of you, and as you can see, I really write down really tiny steps, but that's just how this works for me. So again here, this is hard for me to use, and I'm trying to find the balance between being too obsessed with aligning things, making it pretty and looking nice, and not procrastinating at the same time, because sometimes planning is also a way of procrastination. So I'm just continuing flipping through. Sometimes things don't really look the way I want them to look, but hey, it's a planner. It needs to get used. If it doesn't work out the next day, I'm flipping over and I'm starting new. Here, I obviously didn't do much planning because I just lived in the moment. Then the next week started again and I was back on track with working. Yeah, that's how all of my weeks look. I often add sticky notes, especially when there is things that I might move or that I might need somewhere else. I love making lists and I love using different things for my checkboxes. And even though it doesn't look like I checked them off, I actually got all of these done. Saturday again, I didn't plan. I just added the dates that I needed to be places. And then this is again Monday, and Mondays are always busy days or when I'm trying to be good. I love these Happy Dia stickers, so I actually changed bed sheets just because I wanted to use this sticker, but it was time anyway, so yeah. Then here I added stamping. I just like stamps and I'm not using them often enough, so I'm trying to incorporate them again. And I found this stamp. This is from Citrus Twist kits that came in one of their, I think, pocket kits, and maybe this is the way to go for tracking things that I need to do on a daily basis. Just making a little list by stamping the same word over and over again, and maybe that's how it works. This is Sparkly Paper Co. This is the Coffee Monsters. These stamps, this one is a Cocoa Daisy stamp, and this one is a stencil that we received in the July kit, and I absolutely like it and I can't wait to use it more. And that's today. So yeah, this is again just to point it out, even though they don't look very different from each other, this is much easier for me to use than this. And yes, I should know by now, but I don't, so I'm trying all the different things. Yeah, that's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then I'm going to move on to July. This is an acetate that I received in a Studio Calico kit a long time ago. I added one of those tab stickers that says meal planner. This is a grocery guide. I wrote down where I'm often buying things. This is easy for me when I make a shopping list. And then this is my meal planning insert. This is another, I don't know if this is a freebie from PeanutsPlannerCo, but if it is really useful. This is just a month on 2 pages, and I just add my meals in here. And again, this is an ongoing insert, so I'm just taking this one out when I'm moving over to July, and then I have my July pages right here. And these are the meals. I just made a list of things that we love to eat. And I added one more barbecue here. This is another divider. I got this one from my friend Jennifer from Happy Place Planning. And this is a patch that we received in a Cocoa Daisy kit. I think it was May. I added it on here. This is my cleaning list, which I finally added all the things that I need to do, but I actually didn't really do a lot of those things. I really love this insert. This says reoccurring tasks, and this is where I add all the things that I need to do monthly or bi-monthly. I marked some of these things with my highlighter so that I know when to go and do certain things. Here, this is from the May kit, Planner Girl divider for my lists. This is from AnniePlans, and I think I have other lists in there too. There's an older list, ideas for presents. This is a Cocoa Daisy insert as well. And this is my projects list, all the creative ideas that I have, and I just keep this as an ongoing list and crossing things off as I go. Ideas and all of the things. And when I have a new idea, then I'll just add it down here, and I go back and revisit these ideas, and some come to fruition, some don't. This is my expense tracker, and it's an ongoing insert, and again from PeanutsPlannerCo, and I just fill it in as I go. And then I have die cuts in here, but actually I don't really use them, so I decided to find my favorite ones and stick them in just before I start the month. And so I have a new pouch. This came in the July planner kit from Cocoa Daisy, and I'm using my Foxy Fix #1 again. It's a white in juniper, and I'm just going to show you what I did already. For this, I stamped the days, and since we are going on vacation in July and we're not doing a lot, I'm using one of those segments for each day, and as long as we're away. And then, as you can see, I already added die cuts before I'm actually planning in it. Since this is probably mostly going to be memory planning, that is totally okay. And then we are going back to our normal life on the 23rd, and I am just going to use this as my 1 page per day for that week. And then the last 2 days of that, I'm just going to use again another free printable from PeanutsPlannerCo. I haven't tried those yet, and I'm really curious to see how they work. So that is the start of my July setup. I haven't really finished yet. I still need to move over, and that's exactly what I'm going to do right now. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I will see you soon. Bye.